I used to question my husband's love for me because his love isn't loud. It's not like those cute couples on social media, those men in the movies, or even in the books I read. He is not the type to walk in with flowers every day. He will never hold a boombox over his head confessing his love through an open window. He has never scattered rose petals all over the floor with expensive jewelry in a little surprise box. I used to see those posts, watch those movies, read those books, and think, why doesn't my husband love me like that? Why isn't he that romantic? Why do all these other men do these huge gestures constantly? Does my husband not love me enough? One night, we were standing in the kitchen as I was scrolling through social media. I started seeing the rose petals on the bed, the ring boxes, and these huge grand gestures. Why don't you love me like this? Why don't you care enough like this? Why don't we show our love like this to each other? He looked at me with a confused face and would say I show my love differently. Everyone does. The next morning, after that conversation, I was running behind. I go out to my car expecting to have to stop and get gas before I took the kids to school, as I kick myself for not filling up the night before. I get into my car at 7:25 a.m., and there's a full tank of gas. My husband had filled it up for me earlier, before he left for work, because he knew I was going to have to stop in the morning. I sat there looking at the full on my tank of gas, and thought to myself, why doesn't anyone talk about this kind of love? The quiet kind of love. The not shouting it from the rooftops like you see in the movies, but the quiet kind. The kind that whispers. The kind that makes you feel warm and safe. The kind that makes you realize you're not in this mess called life, alone. The kind that no one else would see as a big deal. But to you, it meant the world. I sat there looking at the full gas tank and realized in that moment, this is how my husband shows he loves me. He cares. He wants to take little things off my plate. He looks for simple ways to make my life, and our kids' lives, easier. He may not bring me flowers often, but he waters our marriage every single day with little acts of effort, so we can bloom together. He may not shout his love from the rooftops, but he whispers it quietly to me. He may not scatter rose petals all over the floor, but he does little things, like this, that make a world of a difference. I have started to look more closely at the little things my husband does, and I realize that they're actually big things. I've come to love the little, everyday, and mundane things he does, because that's where I truly see his love for me. His love is quiet, and I've come to love that I'm the only one who can hear it.